Didn't say you have to be first. Just said you got to work through the positions and keep the gun loaded, right? And that's all you're doing. You're just loading the gun from a different place while doing other things in a different position. That's all there is with this gun now. You're either shooting it, or you're loading it, or you're moving and changing a position with it while shooting and loading it. There's nothing magical about it. Zero, other than it's just awesome at what it does. But it beats you here.
Thunderstick Summit, it's 3 days of defensive shotgun training. It's the only event of its kind, and we're super happy to be involved with it. So got some great talent out here, lots of good shooters and some great instructors, starting with Darryl Bolke from Hardwired Tactical Shooting. So Darryl's out here teaching Feed the Pig, doing a lot of positional things, learning to load with different hands from different locations, keeping that shotgun fed. Next, we got Greg Elifritz from Active Response Training. He's been around for a long time, doing awesome work with CQB and retention, lots of cornering, stuff really that it hits home for the home defense shooter. It doesn't really have to be law enforcement based, so if you're a home defense person, this is a great guy to learn from as well. We got Steve Fisher here from Sentinel Concepts. He's doing a bunch of positional shooting, shooting on the move, shooting and loading on the move, so a lot of cool things with target transitions. This is a really cool class to get into. And then we got the legend Mark Fricke here from American Firearms Training and Tactics. He's been doing shotgun stuff since the 70s. He knows everything about them. It's great to have him here. He's a wealth of information. He does a great lecture for us and a really good beginner course. So if you're not super tuned into shotguns yet, it's a great way to come in. It's a real good path to get you into the advanced stuff by the end of the Thunderstick Summit. Next, we got Eric Gelhaus here from Cougar Mountain Solutions, another LEO guy. He's been doing this for a while, works out at Gunsight Training Center. He's out here teaching like a West Coast fundamentals. Just what does that mean? It's, deploying a shotgun with a little bit of distance between it. How do we do this on the move with multiple targets and with judicious marksmanship, depending on what's in between us and our target and what's behind our target. So it's a really good way to think while shooting the shotgun. And we've also got Rob and Matt Hott here from SimTac Consulting. So they're out here teaching their push-pull block of instruction, learn to tame that beast. It's a really good, about 150 round course, just really tunes you in and you can run any shotgun and not have the penalty of recoil.
Right? You got a lot of issues for certain people on how you're built, where your gear's being carried, whatever. So I have gotten insanely agnostic about how you load this gun. I don't care. What we're gonna do right now is figure out for you what works. If you have the size and stature, what I would prefer you to do, now I run my rounds hulls up. And I do that because back in the olden days of olden times where I'm from, you would shoot these and the rounds, they didn't get these from Wilderness Tactical or Aridus or any of these good companies where they stay in there. A lot of these things are crap. And what happens when you shoot the gun? The rounds fall out if they're hauled down. So this sort of gives me a 100% reliable with whatever is stuck to the side of here, that the rounds will stay there. So I've just learned to try to be consistent. Now again, I could load, I was an early adopter of the Aridus side carriers. What I like about them for a duty shotgun, remember when I said rounds are fragile? What happens to the rounds on the gun? They get beat up. So when you surround them in metal, they don't get beat up. People go, well, it's not as fast as whatever. I don't care, I want the rounds protected. You'll find I'm not that big on how fast you can do things, it's how reliably. So here's what I do from here to load the gun. Hand comes up, circle it back to me, so I'm pointing my thumb at myself, pop the thing up, snatch it, and I come underneath and push it into the gun. Snatch the round, come up underneath, push it into the gun. That's how I'm gonna do a mag load. So I get to kind of pick how I'm gonna do that. That's sort of how I do things. I am real big these days for a lot of you, and this came from watching my wife, who was a trap shooter and upland bird guide. So once I got around women KICK-EEZ shooter and I watched how efficiently they load guns, because they shoot more than any of us do. I mean, insanely more than tactical shooters do. KICK-EEZ shooters shoot more than, you know, tons of this. So what I started seeing was those folks were loading out of a bag, and it was all strong hand and super easy handling the gun. So I'm watching folks not struggling to manage the gun to get it loaded. Well, now combine that with, if I take the gun here and throw it up here, what hand do I get to use to load with? I use my most dexterous hand to put ammo in this gun, and I can keep my head up and do it. If I'm at a empty gun, that's pretty easy, right? Gravity pops that right in there, close the action, and now again, my most dexterous hand. And if I need to shoot this in the crisis, what do I need to, what's the worst? I don't even need to shoulder it from here. Bang. Well, the other benefit I really found from this, if my gun is out of ammunition, do I want to be standing here? I can A, move, B, you know what else I can do? I can go find some cover, maybe behind a vehicle, behind something. Now where's my gun at? I can compress this into a small space and get it loaded. What if I run this out of ammunition or it malfunctions, what should be my first thing? Transition to a handgun. Okay, if you are still under threat, transition or bail. Like trying to fix this in front of people who are shooting at you is a range stunt. This happens in the real world. You go bingo on ammo or you're out, you better have a plan for something else. If this is all you got, what do you got to do? You got to load it.
As I am working down to this position, I may start in a low ready moving into the position, but now that low ready position may change to a high ready because I am going down into that position and dropping the gun into place. First coming down into low with that gun, getting the position, and then bringing the gun up and mounting the gun is time. It is time that we do not often get the luxury to have. So I would rather work myself from a high ready to a low kneeling position or a kneeling position to keep the gun up, out, forward in place of me. Because if, again, depending on your setup, however your world is, and I have seen this, that when this muzzle comes up with these guns, depending on the length and the conditions and where you're at in proximity to it, I have watched the duvet and the comforter come with the damn thing. Coming right up off of a bed. Like, well, that doesn't work very well either. Or fighting over other obstacles in the house, furniture. You can go a million places with this. Vehicles, the same thing, front end of the car, rear of the car. Now we're going to start putting this mood together. Okay, I'm going to grab a gun, we'll go through it, I'll show you what we're talking about. I'm more straight direct up right here in this position. Movement behind the gun. Right, get a little bit wider, not bad, we still get some movement. If I get a little bit wider, drop the leg back. I hate that thing. It gives me just a little bit more behind the gun to stay more control of the gun. Most of you get on the line and you're like this with a shotgun because you're wide and this is about what your face looks like, right? Nothing changes until you get there because then you change to be comfortable. Fuck your comfort, right? I don't care about it in there today, but I want you comfortable, right? So it's not about necessarily about this feeling or your feelings, but it's about how it feels, if that makes sense. So that's all it is. And I go, that's all I'm doing. Like I said, I am replacing my foot with my knee, so to speak, in that position. All right? from the double, mount the gun from the high, press it out, press 1. Shooter, stand by. It's on you, send it.
Hey, it's RJ with KICK-EEZ. I'm out here at the Thunderstick Summit. We are a sponsor out here for many reasons. One, not only is it fantastic training and we get to learn an absolute ton, but we're out here with the best instructors. It's great for us as a company as well because we get to come out, demo our new pads in this tactical arena that's new to us, and really get not only these great instructors telling us and giving us their feedback, but the people who are so passionate that they spend their money and their time to fly out here, to travel out here and be part of this event. We absolutely love it. We get to make lots of new friends, lots of new contacts in the industry, and it's just all around a fantastic experience.